Ooh. What's going on, everybody? It's another Thursday night here on the live stream. Thursday, what is it? August 26th. We're live streaming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. Beautiful Cockeysville. And I'm trying something a little bit different today. So, how does it sound? How are we sounding today? I know there's going to be a little bit of noise from the fans. There's just no way around that, unfortunately. But how you all doing tonight? So, what are you guys up to? How was your week? What are you smoking? What are you drinking? Put those in the comments below. Let me know what you're doing. And yeah, man, it is blazing today. Blazing. I always talk about the weather because you know what? The weather is like super hot here in Baltimore. And you know, it's just one of those things where it's generally miserable here. Baltimore tends to have miserable type summers. And yeah. So what are we doing today? We're a little bit different. I was actually shooting in this part of the space earlier today, doing a video about a tech channel, right? Well, I got this computer recently, this old Mac, and I was making a video about that, and then I realized that I wasn't recording the sound, at least not in the way that I was planning on it. So I don't know what it's going to turn out. So I just decided that since I had it all set up over in this side, that I would just leave it. And you can hear that. The one thing about this mixer that I'm using to do this, I wish I could detune the sound, right? Like, let's see. There's a high pass filter. That didn't do anything. Oh well, whatever. What's going on, George? Oh, let's George is here. Lots of fan hum. Yeah, sorry, man. Actually, you know what? I was watching this guy. There's a guy that I follow on YouTube. His name is Curtis Judd, and he talks about this application called Isotope RX. And Isotope has 3 different levels. One of them is like super high end for like motion picture sound engineers, and it's like thousands of dollars. But there's supposed to be a cheap one, and this particular feature, this particular application on all 3 tiers has this denoise feature that evidently can be applied live. So I'm going to look into that because unfortunately this Rode mixer that I'm using doesn't really have much, doesn't have any EQ controls, and it has a noise gate, but the noise gate is so harsh, it's pretty much unusable. So drinking tonight, we'll be drinking coffee and cigars, of course, and we're going to start with that. And yeah, ignore the background hum. It's just like white noise on an airplane, you know. But how does the voice sound to you? So what I'm doing is, like, normally, as you know, that I probably noticed, I'm usually using a desktop mic. This time I'm flying a shotgun mic above, just to try to see how that works. And yeah, so that's what's happening. Let me know what you think. How does it sound? And does it sound tinny? Does it sound weird? Man, I can really hear the AC noise now. Like, and actually, I guess it's more severe now because we're actually in the room with the AC. The other side doesn't have it. The other side just relies upon this side's AC. So by the time it reaches the other side, it's usually a little bit quieter. Plus, I think the other microphone's a little more isolating. But anyway, we're going to bring coffee. So today's coffee is the Brazil Fazenda Morfeo Natural. And this is a sample that was sent to me by Genuine Origin. They're an importing company that I work with for certain coffees. So while 80% of the coffees that we use are actually sourced by me at the farm level, the other 20%, or maybe actually maybe it's only 15% or less, is actually we work with different importers to bring the coffees in. And it just helps to give a little more variety without having to spend a great amount of money traveling around, right? So anyway, this is a coffee I was drinking this morning. We've actually talked about this coffee on the show before. Oh, George says, I'm a little bit soft volume-wise. Okay, let me see. here's where the balancing has to come out. So there is a way to boost the signal so that really it's supposed to fall within a certain range of negative decibels, and I was below that, trying to keep the noise down. All right, so we're within the range now. We're pushing. I think it looks about -8 dB. So yeah, you know, there it is. You're right. You're right. That's a car. It sounds so different here. All right, so this is a natural processed coffee from Brazil, and as you may have heard, recently in Brazil they had a big frost a few weeks back, and that has impacted production in Brazil, and it could wipe out a good percentage of their crops, which means that coffee from Brazil is going to be hard to come by. Prices are going to go up, especially from Brazil, and it should be quite interesting over the next few months. All right, so how are we going to brew this? So today I decided that we're going to go with a little bit of a different style brewer. Well, we always do the hand brewing and all this. Today I thought, you know what? Most people are brewing coffee at home, and they're, you know, using a machine of some sort. So I thought I'd bust out my machine. Uh-oh. All right, this is the Bonavita brewer. And this is a typical drip brewer that you have that you would have at home. And yeah, you know, the typical thing, you put the coffee in, you put the filter coffee, you put the water, put the filter in the coffee here on the top. It's a little bit different where this one sits on top of the carafe. And so this one's, what makes this really interesting is that this brewer, and this particular model is the first generation release, and it's also the one with the hot plate, so it'll keep your coffee warm. However, they do have versions with just thermal carafe, which are probably the one you should get. But if you're only brewing a little bit and you're going to drink it right away, doesn't matter. So it's got their basket holder, and this one uses Melita No. 4 style baskets. So pretty much the same type that we use for pour overs, and it's very, very accessible, and you can get those filters practically everywhere. And then this capacity, it says here what? 2, 4, 6, 8 cups. So that breaks down to 4-ounce cups, 32 ounces, right? So maximum capacity of this is 32 ounces, and I double checked it because I filled the carafe and took it to the scale, and well, 32 ounces. So you can make a maximum 32 ounces of coffee here, and what makes this brewer a compelling choice, let's say, over the Bronze and the Mr. Coffees, is that this brewer is one of the few brewers in the world that are actually calibrated to reach 198, 200 degrees Fahrenheit in water temperature, which is really the critical factor for brewing coffees. That most coffee brewers that are designed for the home are unable to reach these temperatures. So your coffee is always what we call under extracted. And there's only a couple other machines that are out there that will do this. The Technivorm, which is like $300. This one is about $150. So it's a good deal. Actually, it's probably less. And you can get them on Amazon, or just put Bonavita, Bonavita, and it works. And it works pretty well. So what we're going to do is, I've already filled. I was going to make the full carafe, but I thought, what am I going to do with this extra coffee? So I've ratioed out 14 ounces of water, because we're just going to make a regular cup of coffee, our normal size here. I'm going to place, this one you have to take the Melita paper filter. George says, Robusta beans, Robusta. Well, technically these are Arabica beans. I don't really get too much into Robusta. There's some good ones out there, but I haven't got too much. No, this one's actually going to be pretty good. This one should be quite good. Quite good. Di, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so now So take your number 4 filter, and there's a seam, right? We always talk about this seam. Just fold it over, just so that the paper filter will sit flat in the basket. And this basket, typical like pour over style basket, actually you could probably just take this and put it on top of a cup and pour over onto it. Right? Like that. Huh, never thought about that. So this one only has one orifice at the bottom, right? There's a little hole here. So that helps to regulate the flow of the coffee through the flow of the water through the coffee. Kalita, hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in and for joining us. Really appreciate you coming in. And so we're going to place the filter inside the basket, right? Just like this. And then the coffee. So again, since we're just making a 12-ounce cup, we're just going to use 24 grams of coffee, so 2 grams for every ounce. Just kind of make sure that it's all like level. And in this style, you actually place it inside the carafe, right? So it sits pretty far in, so it's not really going to fall out. Well, it will fall out, but you really have to work at it. So close the lid, slide it under. Oh, and I should show you. No, I can't show you too much. But here you can kind of see. How far can I tilt this? There's a shower head here that has a cross pattern with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. And what it's going to do, it's going to pulse. It's going to pulse brew. So we're going to put that in here, and now we're going to plug it in. All right, so once we plug it in, there's a switch. And this particular model doesn't have any timers. So if you're looking for a timer one, I think they do have one now. Just press the button down, and it turns red. Right? On, and now it's going to heat the water, and then bring it through the group head, and it's going to pulse it through. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to time this up and see just how long it takes to brew this coffee. Motivate a good life, absolutely, absolutely. Whoa, 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 you can hear that, holy smokes. That was loud. So, as you can hear, it's starting to brew. Let me close this up here. Right, it's starting to come, oh, now it's starting to come through. So 25 seconds or so, actually probably closer to 30 seconds, we're getting our first coffee dripping through. And it's hard to see here, but let's see if I can. If I was to hold this up, right, you can kind of see the pulsing happening. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh? So you can kind of see it. You can kind of see the coffee kind of coming through the brewing shower screen, shower head, and it pulses a little bit. But of course, we're not brewing a full 32-ounce pot. We're just doing a 12-ounce serving. So it's probably gonna go rather quickly. Right. Put it down. So we're, I don't know, maybe we're halfway through, and we're about 1:45. Ooh, that is loud. I should slide this just a little bit over so it's not so... You can really hear the percolating happening. All right, so Di says, the other week when we discussed hand grinders, found a hack using... Yes. You can take some of those cordless drills and just kind of twist the teeth onto the little stem and use that, but don't go too fast, because you could damage the threading. Just go slow. But the thing is, while that makes it easier, I don't want to carry a drill with me either. You know, it's bad enough that I'm to carry a grinder. The last thing I want to do is carry a drill. Oh yeah, so George wants to know, but what do you attach that? So yeah, just attach it to the stem that's connected to the. Yeah, exactly. There it is. All right, so that's pretty much it. It has finished sending the water through, and we are at 3 minutes. So it's for this volume. Oh, and it's already finished here. So a little bit fast, right? But let's see where it takes us. Let's unplug this and get this out of our way. All right, so here we are. Nice. I just realized I don't really have a place to put this. I gotta remember that. All right, so this thing also comes with a little. Also comes with a lid, so it'll help you keep your coffee warm. All right, so now we're going to get our coffee and let's see what it tastes like. This is the Brazil Fazenda. Fazenda Morafeio. It's a natural processed. So the one thing about this coffee is that Brazil is like, because Brazil is like one of the largest producers, or if the largest producer in the world of coffee, some of the coffees that you get, like this one's what they call a New York 2-3, and these kind of coffees tend to be very neutral, right? Even though it's a natural, like you think naturals are going to have super like fruity notes, this one doesn't. It's got light fruit. It's very soft. It's a soft mouthfeel coffee. It's pleasant. It's one of those coffees that's good for blending, and because it's not terribly distinct or challenging. Like you get some coffees and they're very like distinct in a particular way, right? They have their own imprint. This is a coffee that's just very accessible, very, very accessible kind of coffee. Actually, I was having this morning when I was having breakfast. So today I had bagel, everything bagel with salmon lox and cream cheese. Nice, you know, the softness of the coffee goes well with the cream cheese. And oh, there's a little bit of dryness, but also a little bit of fruit on the finish down. So it's cooled slightly, so that fruit is starting to come out a little bit more. All right, so let's get into the main event, and that is our cigar for the evening. Again, we get our cigars from Tobacco Leaf in Jessup. I was just there yesterday. No, the day before. The day before. Tuesday I was there. Tuesday afternoon I was there. I had to make some deliveries in that part of the country, and you know, that's the thing. Like when you go to that part of the area, the metropolitan area, like the roastery's in the north, and so for me to go to the southwest part of the region, if you go in the afternoon, like it's hard to go back because there's so much traffic. Now there's so much traffic again, so it's like, you know, it's like, oh gosh. Oh, so George is asking, so to use it in a blend, the Morafejo, does it give you flavor, aroma, or just strength? Actually, I would not say that this thing gives you a lot of strength. It gives you more just kind of general flavor, like a lot of blending. You're going to use, like this one will have like a light, like there's light dry fruit, there's some light cacao. It's very, the acidity is very muted, so you'll use this to mix in with whatever you're like as a blender to create whatever ideal you have. It's just kind of like tobacco, right? Certain tobaccos have certain characteristics, and you'll use that character to blend with others. I guess that makes sense, right? It's a little bit different. For me, example, like let's say for example, when I'm blending the espresso, which is our major blend here, you know, I'm looking for coffees that do have those notes of cacao or even earthiness, and then we want to have some nuttiness to it, right? Especially a lingering nuttiness on the finish, so that it's nice and clean, a little bit crisp. And then we want, I like a lot of fruit notes, so I like not just, I like berries. So if we can find some berry flavored coffees, that's what I want to incorporate into the blend, so that it's really round and kind of deep, and really just a coffee that really kind of holds your attention for our espresso, right? All right, so let's look into this. This is the Villa Casdagli. Oh, unfortunately, from this, I forgot it. This angle, we're so much farther away, it's hard to see that. But so this is the Villa Casdagli. Let's see if we can use that light. The Villa Casdagli, oops. Let's take this out of here. It is $13.95, so it's on the price. It's getting to the pricier range. And the Villa Casdagli is actually named after the villa owned by, well, so the cigar brand is owned by a guy named Jeremy Casdagli, right? And from what I've read, he is his cigar brand kind of pays homage to his family, right? His family is from Greece, and now they're based in Tallinn, Estonia. And yeah, what else did I say? So he's got several lines, right? Let's actually look at how many lines he has. I'll show this to you. I'm only working with one screen today, so it's a little bit different. Oops. All right, so here it is, the Villa Casdagli line, and he was so back in 2012 he met this guy Don Olman at the Vega Santiago factory in Puriscal, Costa Rica, and you know, so I guess a big component for their cigars is Peruvian tobacco. I don't know too much about Peruvian tobacco, but yeah, but it sounds fascinating. So evidently, like as you can see on this website, it says in 2018, Don Olman, the guy that runs Vega Santiago, has this thing called the mejorado process, where many of his tobaccos that he go through a fermentation of 4 more months in the pilon. So I think a lot of farmers, a lot of producers do the what they call pre-industry, where they place the bundles of tobacco in large piles called pilones, or pilon. Pilones is for plural, and they have these big thermometers in them that monitor the temperature. And as they ferment and they raise in temperature, at some point they have, I guess they have a very specified time and temperature, they will restack them to cool them down and continue the fermentation. So I guess it gets hot, ferments and hots, cools down. As they take it apart, it cools down and comes back, and that gives the aging. So I think a lot of places do 2 years, George, and then it seems like this mejorado process does another additional 4 months. And George says, Jeremy likes to use heirloom seeds grown in Peru, which he first says, oh, interesting. So these are different than the typical, you know, I guess like what the Habano 99 or whatever that they're using in Nicaragua. Is that correct? All right, so he's got a line of cigars. So this is their line. Let's look at, oh, here it is. So today we're smoking the Robusto, the 52 by 5 by 52, and it's got 4 sizes, as you can see: Toro, Pegasus, Corona Gorda, and the Robusto. And so there's not too much. People don't say too much about it. Let's see what else they say here. Here we go. So it was a search to add only the second Robusto worldwide portfolio. All the tobaccos Robusto go through the Mejorado process, with 2 tobaccos from Peru in the filler. This beauty's profile will lean towards extra sweetness and rich molasses. Okay, well, remember that. Extra sweetness and molasses. Medium to full body flavor and strength. Ecuador wrapper, Ecuador binder. The filler is 2 types of Peru, 1 Dominican Republic, and 1 Ecuadorian. So it says white and black pepper, vanilla, chocolate, maple syrup, brown sugar. Oh, all right. All right, all right, all right. I'm going to give it a try now. Let's give it a try. All right, so we're going to do our official cutting with the Xikar MTX cutter. The official cutter of the OnoLive Coffee and Cigars live stream. Ooh, you can hear it. Nice, this microphone. Ooh, so on the wrapper, some sweetness on the wrapper. Some sweetness on the cold draw. That's very pleasant. That's very pleasant. It's the official cutter. We're using it. We're just not sponsored. Maybe they'll send us some cutters one day. Actually, don't. Oh, yes, just sharpen my cutter, Xikar. That's all I have. Just sharpen it. Breaking the bulk. Oh, okay, okay. So sweetness on the cold draw. Actually, pleasant cold draw. All right, so now we're going to light. We'll roast it up. Oh, wait a minute. So I did not actually get the tobacco to ignite, and it's a little bit difficult to see. But look at that. I don't know if you can see this detail, but I noticed it just as I looked at the foot. You can really see the different colors of tobacco rolled in the bundle. I thought that was just interesting. So I'm not sure exactly what the darker ones are, but fascinating, fascinating. Now we will light. Ooh, you know what? That second puff, as the smoke hit the tongue, there is this tropical fruity sweetness that's there. That was very interesting. Oh. There's a brightness to this cigar that reminds me of one that I've smoked with, a different cigar that I've smoked before. But I can't think of which one it really is. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Wow, you really can hear the cars. Like, it's a whole other world when you every microphone that we use is very different, right? And to hear this show through this mic, which is an Audio-Technica 4073, is really, really, it's different. It's very different. That directionality of the shotgun really really records it in a different way. It's a little bit brighter of a microphone than others. This is really starting out very interesting. There's a brightness, a juiciness to it. Like on his website, he's talking about what? Black pepper, vanilla, chocolate, maple syrup, brown sugar. I'm not getting any of those. Perhaps you could say some maple and brown sugar, maybe, on a very light. But right now, at the initial start, no, it's just tropical. A lot of tropical fruit, juiciness. It's quite interesting. Actually, it makes me wonder, like, what do other people say about this? Again, this is something that just came out not too long ago. I think they were supposed to release it during the PCA show this past summer, and then they said it was. Oh, they announced it at the TPE show, which is the tobacco, whatever PPE. It's the competitor of the PCA, and it was supposed to be unveiled at the PCA in Vegas in July. But it's supposed to be what they said. Evidently, they have another line called the Daughters of the Wind, and this particular, the Villa Casdagli, is supposed to be a modified version of that Daughters of the Wind. Ooh, and yeah, maybe. With the Mbambe, are they also using Peruvian tobacco? I wonder if that Peruvian is what's giving that brightness to it. Very interesting. This cigar, very interesting. Oh, you can even hear the keyboard. What's going on, Rusty? How you doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. We've got we're smoking the Villa Casdagli Robusto, which is starting out really, really interesting. A lot of tropical fruit, juicy notes to it. Very different than what even their website had to say about it. And and we're drinking this this Fazenda Morfejo from Brazil, natural processed New York 2-3 coffee, and that's nice and soft and light cacao. And George says tobacco. Oh, TPE, tobacco products export. There we go. There it is. Thank you. So, what do you guys all do this week? Anything happen interesting? I mean, obviously things are interesting in Afghanistan. I couldn't believe I saw that video where they had the airplane and the guy came off the plane. That was crazy. And then they had the attack today. 60 Afghanis killed, 12 servicemen, American servicemen. They said that they airlifted 96,000 people since this began. And I was thinking, 96,000, can you imagine? I mean, 96,000 people, that is amazing. So if you, and then what they did this week is they also, they basically took over the airlines and forced the airlines to send them planes. So I think United sent them 4, American 2, and there were several. But you have 96,000 people, right? So let's just say, you know, a good percentage, well, yeah, say 96,000. And we divide that by a typical 777 carries 350 people. That's 274 flights. Now, of course, there's some where they're putting them on, C-17, C-5 Galaxies, where I heard they had one flight where they took 800 people on board a flight. So, I mean, that's a big, but I mean, like, even if you did half of that 96,000, and you're still talking 100, almost 150 flights to airlift people out. That's pretty interesting. Oh, and so George says, yes, M. Bombay does use Peru relief. Oh, maybe that is, very interesting. So in case you haven't heard, we're planning on taking a show on the road on Thursday, September 9th. We're going to be taking it up to New Jersey, to Ridgewood, New Jersey, to the tobacco shop in Ridgewood, where they're going to let us take over the Davidoff Lounge that they have up there, and we're going to do our show live from their lounge. Should be a good time. So if you're in the area, come join us. Let us know when that you're going to come. Rusty, have you been thinking about what we're going to do, Rusty? That's really the question. We should think about also what we should smoke on that episode. You know, the coffee's fun, but you know, perhaps we should be imbibing of some other beverages as well. I've got the Maryland Old Line, the Old Line rum, aged Caribbean rum, Navy strength. This one is, it's interesting actually. I bought this a while back because I thought it'd be interesting to try, and it turned out that it had great reviews, and I didn't even know about it, but it's got great flavor. But man, this Navy strength is like what year Navy are we talking about? 1700s? So Di says, head up to Fraser, PA for an Austin. Oh, you're heading up to there on the 11th. Excellent, excellent. That should be a great time. The Healy Fest time. Di, you have to get, don't you have one? So there's a, oh my gosh. Once you get past the burn of this Old Line, there's really lovely vanilla and caramel notes. It's really quite an enjoyable smoke, rum. But it is strong. I mean, it's like it burns a bit. Yes, definitely come join us there, Di. So, you know, the 11th, so the 9th, come drive up the 9th, meet us at the tobacco shop. We're going to be spending the night there somewhere. And then the 10th, you can drive on to Fraser, PA, and then be there in time in the morning for the Healy Fest. Oh, not yet on the Healy, not yet. Soon. How long? Well, we haven't really discussed that. I mean, overnight for sure, because I imagine that even though we finished the show at 10, the adventure will continue late until later. So at least till the next morning. Oh, excellent. I'm looking forward to it. So we're moving along in the Villa Casdagli Robusto, and it's developed. So when we first started out, it was really bright, tropical fruit notes, very juicy. Now I have to say that I'm detecting. Now I'm getting a little bit more vanilla, but I have to also note that it was right after I started drinking this, so that could be a factor. So George says the British Navy issued a daily ration of rum. Well, these Navy guys, they definitely have it. They definitely have it going on. And Dice says in New Jersey, yes, the late trip to White Castle to get the case, the 36 count case is what you need, with some fries and a Coke. Oh, that is just bad news waiting to happen. Actually, we should look. We should discover where. All right, let's look at this. We need to see tobacco shop of Ridgewood, and then let's say what we need to know is White Castle. There it is. The White Castle is only 15 minutes away. Perfect. Ooh, that's a nice area. Where is this? Oh, so it's kind of on the same plane as the George Washington Bridge. So this must mean what, Rusty? You're pretty close to this area, right? From what I remember. Okay, so George is going to be on the 9th, most of the 10th. So George, you've arranged transportation up there already? Okay, good. Not too far, 15 minutes, not too bad. We could do that the after show. So White Castle, okay, let's zoom in to the White Castle. Patterson. And who is in Patterson that I know? So not too bad, five and a half miles. You know, there's a Bolero Fair Lawn. Ooh. The tobacco shop at Ridgewood. I wonder what the best route to get there is. Just straight up 95? Or should we come across, where is it? From Easton, from Bethlehem and Easton. Oh, maybe that's too far. Yeah, Stroudsburg, Easton. That's all the same, I think. Why, is that a bad area? Alright, alright. Bad area, bad area. And we will look for new... How about in Clifton? There's one in Clifton. Oh, that's about the same, isn't it? Man, is there no nice ones? White Castle. White Castle. Show us the White Castles. I don't want to show us White Castle. Oh, there's none really close. Gosh, look at that. How about this one? Is that better? Hmm. Alright, so well, maybe we'll go to this one. White Castle in Little Ferry. Well, that's kind of far though, isn't it? Oh, that Ridgewood. Okay, so White Castle from a tobacco shop. 20 minutes. All right, so when we're desperate for White Castle, we'll drive 20 minutes. Well, you just microwave it, right? So where do you live? Like, I thought you're close to Ridgewood. So up 95 is the best way. Good point. All right, so if we find the one in Ledgewood, that's close to Rusty. All right, let's try to find White Castle. On US 46. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not close. Wow, that's... Oh, I didn't know you were that far out of the city. I thought you were really much closer to the city. Like maybe around here, like Oakland area. Oh, and Tony's with us. How you doing, Tony? Desperate for In-N-Out maybe, but White Castle? Yeah, White Castle, man. Have you not had White Castle? White Castle in the middle of the night when you're at a foreign hotel and you've been out partying. You get the case, the 36-pack. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It's not. You should not be doing this. It's not something you recommend doing, but it's something that you do nonetheless. I live in Wharton. 40 off Wharton. Oh yeah, Wharton. Here you are. Wow. Okay. Off of Route 80. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so. Oh yeah. Okay. Got it. The Death Baldy. So Tony, you're gonna come and join us? Come and meet us up there in New Jersey? Should be a good time, I think. It'll be a nice time. All right, so we're still rolling through. Now we're moving into the second, third, I'd say. I'm probably smoking a little bit too fast. As you can see, it's a little bit uneven. So I should probably slow it down. There's still that tropical, fruity juiciness to it that's still there. So I do, what I said earlier, there was some emergence of vanilla, but I think that's more because of the rum. George says we better search for a Shake Shack. Shake Shack. All right, let's look for Shake Shack. Okay, Shake Shack. Well, heck, we might as well go into Union Square for that. Oh, here we are, Shake Shack. But the only problem is they're only open till 9. Where do you go at night? You know, so 9 o'clock, they close This one in Paramus closed at 9. This one in Paramus closed at... Oh, it's closed. Closed at 8. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. We've got a lot of Shake Shacks in the world now. Alright, we'll keep working on it. Should be a nice time. Should be a nice time. I think we're going to have a good time. So yeah, here, it really is, it's really starting to grow uneven. So I really need to take a moment, hold back, not get too crazy. And so Rusty says, if you want to get some Jersey Ono grinds, I can bring some Sloppy Joe sandwiches, not managed. If you don't know, look it up. I don't know. So let's look it up. We're going to look it up. Sloppy Joe. I mean, the only Sloppy Joe that I know is the one that comes in a can. Sloppy Joe, New Jersey. The New Jersey Sloppy Joe is not the Sloppy Joe you know. Oh, looks like what? Corned beef with some coleslaw and Thousand Island dressing? Triple decker salad, cold deli meat and cheese on dense rye. Coleslaw, coleslaw Russian dressing. Yes, the ash is very white. The ash is very, very white. Let's take a look at that. The ash is very white. Look at that. Looking good, looking good. It's smoking nicely, I'm enjoying it. Alright, so let's see here. Like many dishes named Taylor ham disco fries. Disco fries. Interesting. Can we get that disco fries and Floppy Joe? Alright, let's not go. What's on? Oh, different. That looks different. So what makes a New Jersey Joe a Joe? Wansky says the sandwich must be made on 3 slices of rye, 2 meats, Swiss cheese, coleslaw, oh wow, town halls, coleslaws, dry brine for 3 days, no mayo. I like that dry brining of coleslaw. And Rusty says we have to go to a Jersey. You know, interestingly enough, so in 1997, I was brought on to do location sound recording for a movie called Vulgar, that was being produced by Kevin Smith, the guy from Clerks and all those movies, right? And so I did the sound for this movie, and so we spent like a good month in Asbury Park, essentially. We were in Asbury Park, Rumson, and that whole area. And then we went to this one, the Broadway Diner in is it Asbury Park? Not Asbury Park, right by Asbury Park. And so we went to a lot of New Jersey diners. The tri-tip with rice, oh, that was good. That was good eating. There's good stuff in Jersey. The diner scene is really interesting. Also, another thing that I think is interesting in Jersey culturally is that whole like wedding hall thing. Like wedding halls, evidently, from what I gather from people, is very big. I don't know if they call it banquet hall. They call banquet halls or banquet halls, but basically that. I just noticed when I'm driving through Jersey, there's a lot of them. I'm like, wow, there's a lot. And the left turning thing is interesting. And Di says they only suggest White Castle because open late and they're running. I mean, I get why you're suggesting it. Don't. I get it. I mean, that's why I'm all for it. Actually, you know, I do have White Castle here at the roaster. I keep a small box of frozen White Castles that you're supposed to microwave, but I don't have a microwave. So what I do is I take these baskets, right? I take the steamer baskets, those Chinese bamboo steamer baskets, and I take the frozen White Castle, And I put them in a steamer for like 15 minutes. And man, perfect. It's just like your White Castle. Fantastic. It's fantastic. And actually what I did recently also is that, so sometimes I used to go to McDonald's and I like to get, you know, I'm really cheap sometimes, right? Like, I just go to McDonald's because I just want like a cheap meal just to make me not hungry anymore. So usually I'll get French fries, a Diet Coke, and a cheeseburger. And every blue moon I'll buy like the double cheeseburger meal. But I only want one cheeseburger. So that extra cheeseburger I just toss in the freezer. So one day I was thinking, okay, I'd like to reheat it. Put it in the oven. Man, that was just not working out. Like the bun is all dry, everything's all drying out, it's all hard. You're like, oh my God, this is just terrible. And then I thought about the White Castle and how I do that. So I took the now frozen and now kind of dried out bun McDonald's cheeseburger. I put that in a steam basket. Did that 15 minutes. Perfect. It was just like it came out fresh from the store. It was crazy. It was crazy. So George says Sloppy Joe's was a famous bar in Havana. No rad right there. Well, they probably use those kind of bolillo rolls. Yes, Di, exactly. The Chinese dim sum steam baskets. I got a couple of those here. Just put them on. Just put a little pot of water. Boil it. I just turn on the heat. I don't even wait for it to boil. I just put the thing on and just let it go and walk away. You know, it's a small bowl. It's a small pot, so it heats up fairly quickly. Set a timer for 15 minutes and then beep, 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 come back, done. Perfect. And sometimes it's just way too hot because it's steam, so it's hot. Frozen White Castle is not the same. Then true. Agreed. Frozen White Castle is not the same. But, you know, it's a cheap meal. That's why I have it here. But check out Binging with Babish on YouTube. The episode, oh, I saw that. That's all fancy. Babish is so fancy. But I kind of like his stuff. You know who else I like to watch on YouTube? Is that guy Andong. Have you seen that? My name is Andong. He's this young guy based in Berlin. And he does some interesting stuff. I think I like him. And then that other guy, I still haven't decided whether I'm really a fan of this other guy or not. That guy, that French guy, the one that made the walk recently. You know, he does interesting stuff. I do like Chef John from Food Wishes. I like Food Wishes, that's fun. Denchi Shoguff, that girl from Yunnan, from the mountain provinces. I like what she does. Oh, look at that. So now we're getting to the point. I'm going to knock it off because it's a bit long, but the ash is nice and white. So let's knock that off. Came off really well. So here, it's still lit. This part, there's a bottom half, but I think this top half has gone out. No, but back to that point, Rusty. I think I'm inclined to agree with you about the frozen White Castle is not the same. However, especially because it's now been years since I've had White Castle from a store. But that said, when you steam the White Castle frozen, the frozen White Castle, man, I tell you what, it is as I remember it being from the restaurant. Now microwaving, I don't know, because I don't have a microwave here, so I don't microwave anything. Actually, I just got one. I just found one that was buried in my neighbor's stuff, and they don't want it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to borrow that for a while. But I do think that it's well worth inspecting. Like, you know, give it a try. I think give it a try, and you can see for yourself. Right? Everybody needs a steamer basket. Everyone should have a steamer basket in their kitchen. All right, so Rusty's also asking, did you check out Uncle Roger yet? Is he a guy on YouTube? Let's see. Is he a YouTube guy? Uncle Roger. Oh no, I don't think I've tried him yet. Or maybe I did. Maybe I saw one of his. Oh, it's been a while. I haven't. He's not someone that I follow a lot, but some of these that I'm looking at here, some of these look familiar. Like the one with Ramsey. Alright, I'll have to give it a try. The reaction. The Jamie Oliver world of fried rice is hilarious. I guess he must hate on Jamie Oliver for it. Oh yeah, Uncle Roger hates Jamie Oliver. That's funny. I wonder what Jamie Oliver was like. Actually, we should look at that. All right, let me change the setting here. There is, so in the past, you guys have told me that when I've run videos, you could not hear them, right? So I believe that is because I have a certain switch. Alright, so alright, let's try this. Can you hear? Whoa! Now can you hear this? Can you hear that? I love the way he talks. That's hilarious. No audio still? Alright, I wonder what the deal is with this. I was told that... Oh, how about now? Can you hear that? Did that sound better? No? Yes. Negative. Gosh, really? I wonder what the deal is with this. You know, I'm guessing that it might be... Let me look at my settings here. Oh, did that change the way the voice sounds? Like, did I just change? Did the way the way the audio sound just change for you guys? There was a change. Okay. Oh gosh, it looks like that I have a setting in the. Oh wow. Okay. Sorry about that. Now we've got this. Okay, that was something that I did not do correctly earlier. Okay, let's try this. Try this now. Let me know if this is playing. So could you hear that part? Lost the AC or fan noise. Oh. Interesting. It's there, but very faint. Okay, let me check the setting here. All right, let me try one more time. I'm gonna play it now.
The Ouija. Egg fried rice. It's an absolute classic. And I've got a 2 seconds.
Could you hear that part? Was that better? So the change that just happened with the voice, when I was looking at the, I run everything, I run the microphone that I'm using through this mixer that processes all the sound, and oh good, okay, so I had a setting. So the camera has audio on board, and that's what you've been hearing since the live stream started today. So there was a little bit of a mistake there. Okay, so now we're back. Okay, let's go back a little bit here, and we're gonna check it out. Here we are, Uncle Roger.
Me Oliver is professional chef, very established. Everybody know him. So Uncle Roger think this one is gonna be good. I've been to many of his restaurants. Before we start video, niece and nephew, please smack the like button now like
I
you
love this
slap
guy's
a bag
like-
of rice. Don't make Uncle Roger sad.
His accent
Smack
is
the like
hilarious.
button. Now let's start the video.
Egg fried rice. It's an absolute classic. And I've got a
2 seconds into video and I already see saucepan. Hiya. Where your wok? Jamie, where your wok? Egg fried rice need to use wok because you need the wok. Hey, many people asking Uncle Roger, what is wok? Hey, it is the breath of wok. When you cook with wok, the wok gives the food flavor. Get the wok. Hey, no such thing as saucepan. Hey, Jamie, you have 25 cookbook, but you can't afford one wok. Uncle Roger send you one wok for free, Jamie. No problem.
I absolutely love making this recipe. Yes, you could do this as a side dish, no trouble at all. But actually, it's heading towards being a really beautiful dinner. So,
Wait,
yes, you could do this as a side dish.
Jamie say egg fried rice is side dish? When Uncle Roger growing up, when my mom make me egg fried rice, that is the main dish. I never tell my mom, oh mom, this egg fried rice is only side dish. Where the main dish? Where the main dish? I would have been beaten to death.
So finally slice this up, and as this pan gets nice and hot, I'm going to go in with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm
What? 1 tablespoon of what?
going to go in with 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Olive oil for egg fried rice? Who use olive oil for egg fried rice? Why are you making salad? Olive oil is like white people oil, not suitable for Asian dishes like egg fried rice.
And I'm going to go straight in with the onions, and we'll get them sizzling straight away.
Onions?
No. Spring onion is garnish. It's garnish. You put spring onion as the last thing in your meal, not the first thing in the frying pan. Hiya.
And we'll get them sizzling straight away.
No, you don't sizzle spring onion. Nobody sizzles spring onion. If you cook spring onion now, it will wilt. It wilt. This should be garlic. First step should be garlic. This first 3 steps all wrong already. I thought you professional chef. You have website and everything. Uncle Roger don't even have website, and Uncle Roger know you fucked up.
And then I've got some packet pre-cooked rice. Yes, you can cook your own.
Packet. This guy owns so many restaurants, and he still can't be bothered to make his own rice. Packet rice. Imagine if you go to Japanese restaurant and you ask for noodle, and the chef give you instant noodle. That is what this guy is doing.
And rice, white rice, 12 minutes. But for stir-fried rice, you have to drain it and chill it.
You have to chill it. He correct, but don't drain rice. Uncle Roger made a whole video, 12 million view now of Auntie Hersha draining rice. Don't drain rice, but chill rice correct. 45 seconds in, first thing he got correct.
So for me, that feels like a good cheat. You can hear it sizzling.
You hear sizzling, I hear my ancestors crying.
It's fast, it's hot, it's furious. We're just going to toss it around. Right, the next.
Oh, Uncle Roger don't like the look of this. He taking ingredient from this drawer, and this drawer looks so white because Asian ingredient never come in jar. You ever notice that? Asian ingredient always come in plastic bag or bad packaging. If your packaging look this nice jar, nice bag over there, then it's not Asian ingredient.
Next ingredient. I have this in my home all the time now, chili jam. It's
What I tell you,
Chili jam.
it's not Asian ingredient. What he doing with chili jam? Let's see.
brilliant for cooking. It's got heat, but it's also got the sweetness, and it's going to kind of glaze.
Oh, no.
Oh
Putting jam
my
in
God.
rice. This is disgusting. Who put jam? First of all, what is chili jam? Uncle Roger know fresh chili, chili oil, chili flake. Never heard of chili jam. Is this how you trick white people to eating chili? You give them fresh chili, they go,
No, I don't actually like chili.
give them chili jam and they go,
Oh.
Chili jam is so weird thing to use. Jamie, do you know about Sriracha? This is Asian chili. Just use this. No need to use jam. What are you gonna put in there next? Peanut butter. Okay, why do you go bake PB&J egg fried rice? How many things can a chef get wrong in one video? Hiya!
2 nice teaspoons go in to our pan and then just start tossing again.
He tossed very po, but he tossed all the wrong stuff. All style, no substance.
That'll start to coat every single rice grain and it'll shine in the most beautiful way. And then just give it a little splash of water.
Wait, what? What? No. In the middle of cooking, you put water. Oh. Uncle Roger say, if your rice too wet, you fucked up. But if your rice too dry, you also fucked up.
At this stage, just push the rice up the side of the pan, like that. And then straight into the middle, we're gonna crack in 2 beautiful free-range eggs.
Okay. Okay, the egg look good, egg look good.
And then it's time for the last ingredient, which again, to a lot of people,
He reaching for that shelf again. So Uncle Roger don't think it's gonna end well. Uncle Roger just don't like that shelf. I think it's wrong shelf for egg fried rice. Maybe during filming, they put the wrong shelf there. And Jamie's like, oh shit, you bought the wrong shelf. What I do now? And the filming people are like, we don't care. Just use whatever in the shelf.
is a bit of a new ingredient. Tofu. Firm, silken tofu.
Tofu? Why your tofu in juice box? Who make your tofu? Capri Sun? When Uncle Roger buy tofu at Asian market, always come in plastic bag, plastic seal wrapping. No tofu look like juice box. What, are you gonna poke straw and drink your tofu?
50 grams. And what you can do is just break this up.
No,
and as
no.
it cooks,
No! No! He make Uncle Roger put my leg down from chair. Baking tofu like how Auntie Helen baked Uncle Roger hot. Asian cooking, when you cook tofu, you preserve the whole shape of tofu and serve to customer. This video, so many sad things happening. He wasted the spring onion. He wet the rice. And now he tear apart the tofu like paper. I don't know if Uncle Roger can go on. This depression is too much.
I want chunks of egg and I want little bits. So the nice thing about this stir-fried rice is it's kind of random.
What he say? What he say?
The nice thing about this stir-fried rice is it's kind of random.
Random is not compliment. You made food for your friend one day and your friend say, why your food so random? And Jamie say, oh my god, so random. Gonna start restaurant.
Season with a little salt. Give it a little toss to
Salt, again, no MSG. But Uncle Roger talk about MSG, too many video now.
mix it all up, and then we're ready to serve. Get a bowl, put a little oil.
This guy love olive oil like how Auntie Hersha love colander. He put olive oil on everything. Do you shower with olive oil also? Don't go get massage from Jamie Oliver. He will put olive oil on your body.
Rice dishes and that kind of street food, which is beautiful. It's often associated with being unhealthy. This has been made to be healthy.
If by healthy you mean disgusting, then Jamie, you are right.
You could have that as a meal. I think it's the time to have a little...
This rice looks so wet. Look at this. You can see your reflection inside. Mulan is gonna start singing when she sees this rice.
So silky and delicious. Looks fantastic. And it's really good fun to make.
Jamie is professional chef. All the steps he messed up. Does this guy hate rice or something? What else have he done with rice? Oh, this guy, I think he just hate rice in general. Maybe he's sponsored by Potato Company. They are competition. Uncle Roger don't like this Jamie Oliver recipe. Too wet, no garlic, no MSG. He break the tofu, no wok. It's all wrong. Subscribe to Uncle Roger channel for more video. See you next time. Bye bye.
Oh
Top.
my gosh, that was interesting. That was very, very interesting. I like this guy. I like this guy. See, if he's like that, I'm gonna have to watch more of it. But you know, speaking of Chinese food, like there's a channel that I like to follow on for Chinese cooking. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'll show it to you. It's called Chinese Cooking Demystified, and it's this American guy named Chris who married this Chinese girl named Stephanie, and they make videos about Chinese cooking, and I think it's really, really, really good. Like, I've tried a number of their methods, and as you can see on that with all the red lines, you can see how many of them I've actually watched. But if you are interested in like learning how to do Chinese cooking, I think these guys are really, really great. They've got like great recipes, pretty easy to follow. Yeah. Uncle Roger, okay, he was good. That was good. All right, so I did take the wrapper off during Uncle Roger, and it's still juicy. It's still got this like tropical fruitness to it. You know, like I mentioned earlier, there's on their website they talked about this cigar having notes of white and black pepper, vanilla, chocolate, maple syrup, and brown sugar. I have received none of those things. None. Like maybe early on in the beginning of the cigar, maybe there could have been like hints of the syrup and the maple syrup and the brown sugar. But since that moment, and maybe the occasional sip from the rum, that might be misleading me. It's really just been this tropical fruit, really juicy kind of character to it. It's completely different than what they're saying, but still very enjoyable. Good draw, good burn. The ash was really held together really well. Like that first ash that I had was about that long. Dropped well, nice and white. I should be eating a cinnamon roll. And then George says, we need to get Uncle Roger to watch it. What the hell? Which reminds me, his Uncle Roger's accent, that Chinese, I don't know, is it Hong Kong accent? But there's another guy out there. What is his name? Stephen. He's also, so the Uncle Roger, from what I was reading on his bio, said that it said that he's actually a comedian, right? But this other guy, Stephen, I think it's Stephen Lee. No, not him. No. Oh, you can hear the people talking outside. Oh yeah, this guy here, Stephen He. If you enjoyed Uncle Roger's humor, I think you'll enjoy this guy's humor. He's very much, he has that kind of same accent, but really quite good. And Dry Dye says, Kwang Tran is good. I like him because he works with what he has. Kwang Tran, I'm not familiar with him. Let's have a look at him too. Let's see. Oops.
Yesterday I told you guys to guess.
Oh. Let's see, what does he do? Oh, he does a range of foods. Okay, cool. I'll check him out too then. Spell out the name of Stephen He, that one? This guy? Stephen He. He's pretty funny. I thought he was pretty funny. No problem. No problem, my man. No problem. All right, so we're smoking along. Ooh, we're going pretty fast. Oh, you know, something that I did this week. I think I mentioned this last week on the show. Is that when we were talking about? Oh yeah, because we did the fruit roll up one. What was it called? Fruit leather. The fruit leather from LCA. And I said that I went to their website and I looked and I thought, oh, let me go. And I joined, and so I did join, and my package came the other day. So I got this and opened it up. Oh, and this is the Privada Cigar Club. This is their farm rolled series. They actually include a little paper. I don't know if you've had gotten their stuff. I mean, it's actually kind of interesting. Like, this is their Privada farm rolled, farm factory home. Ultra premium cigars direct from the factory to your doorstep. We certify the products you receive in the Privada farm roll program are the finest hand rolled cigars from the finest factories and farms. Quality is AAA and will not be compromised, guaranteed. Ooh, you got this one too. Excellent. And so, what do we have in here? So they put it here, UDL. They give you like a code name here, number and the quantity, a little bit of a description, some tasting notes, and then miscellaneous. Evening. Oh, I guess. You know, evening, afternoon, morning. So several years ago, I was looking at this one little space in Hamden to maybe take over and maybe make a cigar shop. And I asked George. I said to George, hey, if you had a really tiny shop, how would you do it? And he really broke it down into this idea of like, which I thought was really clever. You know, to delineate the strength of cigars, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I thought that was a great way to describe it, George. And here, as you can see under their miscellaneous, they're doing kind of morning, evening, afternoon, morning, afternoon. So kind of that similar idea. Oh, George's got to run off. All right. See you soon there, George. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. We'll be in touch this week. All right. So this is all from the La Zona factory. And let's have a look. So it comes in this little pack. Nice packaging. Boveda pack. So there are 4 cigars. You know, if you smoke once a week, that's your whole month right there. That's pretty good. All right, so here we are. They're unlabeled or unbanded, but they do have labels. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's interesting. Okay, so this is interesting. So they have this labeling on here: boutique, limited edition, exclusive, ultra premium. So there's a little Boveda pack. That's probably the smallest Boveda pack I've ever seen. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to try. And you do see the number. There's numbers to correlate. It's from the La Zona factory in Esteli. That's made by Humberto Alayon and his son Carlos Garcia. They fled Cuba in 2001 and created a small factory using Cuban methods. And by 2012, they met Eric Espinoza, and that's when things changed. They all started working together. And since then, they've become quite legendary. Oh, that should be interesting. So, evidently, I guess Espinoza is the distributor of the cigars, of La Zona's cigars. Oh, and here's George. Like I said, no such thing as farm rolled from a factory. Oxymoron alert. I wonder what that's supposed to mean, farm rolled. What's it called? Farm rolled? Farm rolled? I mean, nobody's rolling at the farm. Well, you know, that's marketing. All right, we're going to try those over the next few weeks, and I'll report back and how they go. So Rusty's already had 2 and 3. So what'd you think about those, Rusty? How do you find these cigars? So dumb question, is Rahul's shop LCA licensed? I imagine so, because they had, he's been getting their of course he got the fruit leather, and then I just got the blue label. There's a blue label from him. That was a blue release. What was it called? LCA Blue. Let's see here. Let me look it up here. Oops, that's not working. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is the one that I tried. The My Blue Heaven. I just smoked this the other night. It was... Oh, made by Aganorsa, you know, with the N7 dress wrapper, dual Nicaraguan binders, Criollo 98 and Corojo 99. You know, My Blue Heaven. I didn't think that it was... I thought it was okay. It wasn't that like knocking my socks off or anything. It was just good. It was good. Tony says, I'm telling you, the long size Habano was fantastic for $3.75. Ooh. Lonsdale from LCA, I imagine. And yes, the great. That's the one with Steve Martin, right? Where he's like arugula. You guys got arugula. Oh, you like that one? I just thought it was. I wish I did. Like I had that, and then I just didn't find it to be like. I thought the fruit leather was better, personally speaking. But not bad, not bad. The LCA My Blue Heaven, not bad, but I thought it was, for me, yeah, good. I'm interested to know what we're smoking for the Ridgewood weekend. So Rusty, when you got the My Blue Heaven, was that from a local cigar shop up there, or did you get that direct from? Are you also a member of their regular club, or I'm not sure how that works. Oh, so Tony says from the Farm World Series you can buy them. So do you sell those at your shop as well, Tony? At Mount Washington Cigar? If you're going to be in Ridgewood, I'd love to check out my favorite tobacco, Ramsey. Oh, for sure. Let's have a look at that. Ooh, Cigar World and Ramsey. Cigar. Yeah, let me pull that up here. Oh, that's quite a bit more north, I see. But not too far, huh? So is this where you normally go to get cigars from? Because that's quite a drive for you, right? So it's like 45 minutes also to get there from where you live. No, one of my customers is a member, and okay, gotcha. Still looking for the LCA Southern Draw Lady Killer. Oh, I don't think I don't recall them having that at Rahul's this past week, yesterday, or the day before. Oh, got the wood, from Wooden Indian Tobacco in PA. Ah. Yeah, so Rahul right now has the fruit leather and the My Blue Heaven. Maybe I have to try it again. I'm going to try it again. I went to order more. Oh, darn. That sucks. Well, maybe Rahul will be able to get more of those. They did have more of the, what do you call it? The Crook of the Crown. Stolen Thrones. They had some more Stolen Thrones when I was there the other day, on Tuesday. Although, you know, there's been a little bit of change. Like, the very first batch of Crook of the Crowns that I tried, I thought was just amazing. That's why I think I even named it, like, the cigar, my favorite cigar of last year's episodes. But the bundle that I got more recently just didn't have the same oomph, I don't think. So I heard they changed factories. So I don't know what that means, if they're still trying to find their way. Jeff said he had the lady kill. Oh, okay. Did they have those at Rahul's place too for a while? Ooh, that's a good cigar world. Oh, very bright. Oh, a lot of boxers. Nice. How's the ventilation there at Cigar World? Oh, look at this guy. He's very relaxed. That's what you want to see in there. Nice, relaxed. Everyone's chill. Enjoy themselves. This guy's smoking that gym guy. Nice. I found Cigar World because I passed that place on my long drive home from work. Went in one day because, oh, excellent. Oh, so that's out by where your school is that right? Oh, I guess so. Rahul probably had that before. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that was your other school, right? Because you changed schools, what, a few years ago? Wow, over an hour. Now, are there cigar shops closer to where you live, so you don't have to go as far? And then Tony says, they just came out this month, same time as the Fruit Leather. Oh, I see. Okay, so they released 3 of them at the... And so I guess they would release... I guess if they're doing packs of 4, then that makes sense that they would have, many of them. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them and seeing just what they do. It's one of those things where, like one of the things where I've enjoyed doing this show is that I'm compelled to buy cigars outside of what I might normally try, and so it's nice in that respect. But also sometimes when I go to, I like this kind of thing where they just kind of send you and just kind of explore. Like, there's this podcast. It's one of the sister podcasts of Cigar Authority. What was it called? The Ash Holes, right? Ash Holes? Yeah, the Ash Holes podcast. And about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, they had this. Not contest, but basically a shootout. So you paid like $30, and they sent you, I don't know, maybe 6 cigars, and you smoked them round robin style, and you told them which one you liked out of the 2, and then they and then you ranked them, and then they would then and they were all unnamed, and then you just kind of you sent in which one you liked out of them all, and then this is over a successive period of maybe like a couple months, and you sent them your results of which ones you liked better, and then round robin format they would send you Sometimes the same cigar again because you're going head to head with the new one. And then they finally came out with the ultimate cigar of that. And that was really interesting because you got to try like 12 different cigars. So I kind of like that because, you know, otherwise it's a lot of tatuaje and Romacraft otherwise. And Rich says, I just emailed Clark at Privada because he lists all the LCA licensed shops. He sent me the New Jersey ones. There are a few. Oh, good, good. So I guess Cigar World is one of the LCA licensed. What size in the MBH? I can only find the Robusto. Yeah, I've only had the Robusto. Do they make more of the MBH? I mean, this cigar is still rolling. Very juicy. Very tropical. Still none of the black pepper and white pepper that they mentioned in their website. But that reminds me, let's see how other cigar guys talked about it. Actually, there's really not... That was interesting. There was no one really... Oh, I see. When they originally released it, when they originally released the My Blue Heaven, it was a Toro. That would have... Maybe I would like that more. I think that would be interesting. That little bit more of the filler and binder would maybe give that a little more oomph. Because I kind of like cigars with a little bit of oomph to it. You know, and it's made by Aganorsa, so that typically I tend to like their cigars. But let's have a look at so this is a guy, Tiny Tim blog. We've talked about his reviews before. So far he was the only one that in my searching that actually did any real tasting of the Villa Casdagli. None of the big people like none of Cigar Coop or Half Wheel, none of them did any reviews. But so it's not quite the same cigar. It's the Pegasus, which is their Figueroa shape. So it's not the Robusto. But let's just have a look and see what he says overall. So first third, ash burning cigar was very even. Oh, here we go. Look at this. So the same flavor notes are in play, but the sharp orange citrus is so tangy and sweet combined with the brown sugar. Old-fashioned candy lemon drops. There, ooh, that's very much similar to what I'm experiencing with this cigar. Tremendous sweetness, yes, yes. At the beginnings of black coffee at the base, I don't get, well, again, I'm drinking coffee, so I never really think that I get coffee notes out of a cigar. Nutmeg notes. Very tangy. Finished very tangy, yes, yes. Sweet. Citrus. Brown sugar. He talks about pepper. I don't get any pepper. I do not have any pepper. So Tony says the current is a Robusto from the My Blue Heaven, but he saw a Lonsdale after the Toro. Oh. Second, third, burned evenly, extremely sharp sweetness, citrus toned down, still very sweet, yes. Black coffee base, yeah, I didn't get any coffee then. I still like he liked the sharp lemon flavor the first third. But his first third scored 97. That's pretty high. I mean, that's really, like, you know, most of the people that we watch their reviews, no one really goes above 93. This guy is not afraid to go high, which is nice. So the second, third. Cigar lasted 1 hour, 38 minutes. Excellent burn time for 5-inch cigar. Nothing really changed in the final third. That's true. That's true in my experience as well. Same sweet flavorful path, medium to full. Finished unchained, yes, that's true. Yeah, it's been very consistent. And it's interesting, like, sometimes we get cigars that are very consistent, very static, and it's a little bit boring, you know, it's It's not as exciting. This one's a little bit more exciting than that. It's a little more exciting. So his overall score is 96.33. Wow, that's a significantly high score. I don't know if I would score it as high. Instinctively, I feel maybe more 92, 93. Maybe more of 93, just because it's got that nice consistency. It's dynamic. That juicy fruitiness, that tropical fruitiness has been very enjoyable. We're starting to get really down to the end. And it's just holding that consistent tone. Which we're thinking is probably because of the Peruvian tobacco. So it uses two types of Peruvian tobacco, along with Ecuador and Ecuadorian binder. Is that right? What else did they say was in it? Ecuadorian binder, Ecuadorian wrapper, Dominican Republic, and Ecuadorian fillers. Okay. And it's made by this guy, Jeremy Casdagli, that's based in Estonia. So really, really refined kind of cigar. Very, it's interesting because you kind of get the feeling that a lot of your people in Europe, Europeans, are very much about Cuban-esque style cigars, where this is a very non-Cuban-esque. That whole tropical fruit, brightness, citrusy notes to it. It's very different. Very, very different than any Cuban I've ever had. Like, I don't recall any Cuban that I've had that had this kind of distinctive notes. I don't know what you guys' experience on that is. So I'm going to tap off this. We're really getting down to the end of this one. So you guys got planned for the weekend. Today was the first day of the Maryland State Fair, so if you happen to have brought 5 canned goods to the fair, you would have gotten for free, courtesy of Chick-fil-A. Actually, speaking of Chick-fil-A, I started this, I got so irritated with Chick-fil-A after a while that I started an Instagram account about them called Chick-fil-Ugg. I don't really have any followers, but I just kind of post there whenever I go to Chick-fil-A. Because I kind of like, so I use their app, right? So I use the app, I place my order, and I drive over there, and I get the food. And you know what, don't get me wrong, my local Chick-fil-A, the one that I go to, I always go there, and the staff is really, really nice. They're very, very nice. They're really well organized. But you know what? The way they assemble their food is just kind of like haphazard. It's all over the place. And so if you go to this Chick_Phil_Ugg, UGH, you'll find that account. And I just kind of take photos and document how they assemble everything. And it's all kinds of like, sometimes it's really well done. Like, let's say sometimes the hash browns are cooked perfect, or the flavor of the food is cooked just right. But man, it's always assembled kind of messed up. And then one morning, recently, I went there at 10 o'clock and I was like, I want to have a chicken sandwich. And you can order on the app and order lunch or chicken sandwich and fries, the waffle fries, pretty much any time. And then it'll give you a little notice that says, it'll take maybe another additional 10 to 15 minutes after you arrive at the restaurant. And so it was 10 o'clock and I thought, okay, I'll order that. So I ordered it. And the chicken was overcooked. Like, it was like dark, like the breading was dark. They had overcooked it. And I'm like, how do you overcook a chicken that you're making to order now for a special order? But I really started because, every once in a while they would screw things up, and that's to be understood. And sometimes there would be complete errors. Since I'm always driving there and leaving, by the time that I realize it, I'm already driven away, and I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? And so I'll complain on the app, and I never get a response. And so I just kind of got irritated. So I thought, I'm going to make this account and just document my Chick-fil-A experience. So, Chick-fil-Ugg. I don't post there. Since we closed the Hamden shop, like I used to go there every morning on the way to work. So now that shop's been closed and I don't have to make that commute, I haven't been there as often, but it used to be like 3-4 times a week. So I really know what the chicken biscuit should be like. All right, so we're getting down to the very end of our cigar. And it's been really good. It's been really, really good. I've really been enjoying this cigar. Bright, lively. And then, as Rusty always wants to know, would we buy it again? I think so. I think so. It's $13, so it's pretty pricey, I think. But I'd probably get 1 or 2 more. Especially if I was in the mood for this kind of flavor profile. Like I'm really at the end now, so it's starting to get kind of warm, hot on the on my fingertips. I'm gonna smoke it a little bit harder. All right, so what's coming up? Next week is September 2nd. Wow, September already. Can you believe it? I gotta pay my rent. And so September 2nd, next Thursday, we're gonna be smoking the Lampert 1675 Azul Toro. And then the week after will be our trip on the road. We're taking Ono on the road. And that's September 9th. We're going up to the tobacco shop in Ridgewood, New Jersey. We're gonna take over the Davidoff Lounge there and do our live stream live from New Jersey. So if you can make it, plan on coming up to Jersey. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna spend the night in Jersey. I think, Rusty, I think I'm on Friday. My plan is probably to go to Mitsuya for my yearly sojourn to Mitsuya. I usually get some groceries, although I don't have a need for much right now. Maybe get some nice rices, and then of course have lunch there. And then, what is it? The bookstore there, and then the home goods store, and then there's the Daiwa. I love going there. So that's going to be on the 9th. September 16th, it'll be the Gran Habano Blue and Green, Gran Robusto, and then after that, the week after, will be the Cloud Hopper number 485. So that's just coming up. And plan on joining us. It'll be a good time. Maybe we'll do some White Castle. So this has been the Villa Casdagli Robusto, which is named after the farm. Not the farm, but the it was, so if you see the graphic on the label or on the band, as well as the graphic that's on the thumbnail for this episode, that's actually the Villa Casdagli is actually the home in Cairo of Emmanuel Casdagli, the guy who started the family's cotton business in the late 19th century. So he was based out of Cairo, the Egyptian sea cotton, that kind of thing, that beautiful stuff. And this cigar uses what they call the mejorado tobaccos from Ecuador, Nicaragua, Dominican, and Peru. And what the mejorado process is basically after primary fermentation of the tobacco, they ferment the tobaccos another 4 additional months to get that richer, deeper flavor. But this has been very like citrusy, very tropical, very juicy. A big departure than your typical like black pepper strong Nicaragua. So really interesting. The wrapper's starting to fall off now, so I will put that down now. All right. So that's good. That's been another good hang here on another Thursday night. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending the time with us. Now, if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the notes. Come and try to join us next week or in 2 weeks in New Jersey at the tobacco shop in Ridgewood. So until then, I guess that's it. So we'll be back again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday night, with another round of cigars. So should that be a good time? Again, we'll be smoking next week the Lampert 1675 Azul Toro. This has been the Villa Casdagli Robusto. And I've been your host. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. And I don't know what else there to tell you. All right. Have a great week.